Welcome to First Congregational United Church of Christ, Boulder. This is the audio version of the weekly devotional. We hope you will tune in every week to listen to the latest offering written by a member of our congregation. Also, feel free to check out our YouTube channel to watch First Cong's Sunday church services. Thank you.
What Will I Leave Behind? By Amy Ostwald. From Matthew chapter 6, verse 21. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And an anonymous quote, the deeds you do for yourself are gone when you pass away, but the deeds you do for others remain as your legacy. Recently, on a whim, I drove by the house that my parents bought in 1963 when they first moved to Boulder with their brood of 4 young children. We lived there until 1968. There was a for sale sign on the lawn, and curious, I made a note to attend an open house that weekend. Parking along the curb for that visit on a very hot day, my eyes were drawn to the 3 large and robust trees in the front yard. I recalled that my father had planted them as little saplings soon after we moved in, since the houses in the neighborhood had been built atop a barren prairie dog town. Here were gifts he had left behind, mature trees now offering abundant, welcome shade. Walking through the front door, I was immediately hit with a wave of memories and feelings. That spot over there was where I'd learned to play piano. There was where my mother's rocking chair sat, the place where I confessed my troubles as we rocked back and forth together. Over there in that spot was where Mom had comforted me during my first frightening asthma attack. And there in the hall was where she had sat to read bedtime stories as we listened from our beds. I opened the door into the small garage, expecting nothing much, when my eyes fell on a carpenter's workbench against the wall. It was unmistakably my father's handiwork. There's an identical one in the house he built later. This must have been where he'd fashioned the little pink dollhouse he'd given me one Christmas, this among a host of other things he'd constructed. Dad died in 2017, but seeing this bench made him feel present somehow. Downstairs in the laundry room, there was a washer and dryer in the same dark corner that I remembered. I turned my head and saw something else my father had built, a wooden table he'd made for my mother to use as she folded and stacked clean clothes for us. Again, I found myself staring at the work of his hands. I recognized the table's white paint, although now cracked with age. It kind of seemed like Dad was winking at me and saying, "We are still here with you." I felt a rush of gratitude for all my parents had done to make us feel comfortable and loved. This house will not always be here, I know, and that's okay. I recognize that these physical reminders of our lives are temporary. My trip through time, though, has pointed to the reality that human actions and deeds can leave an everlasting impact. And I wonder, what is it that I wish to leave behind when my life is over? Gracious God, open my eyes to see the many treasures I have received from others, and give me a heart of gratitude. With my words and deeds, may I leave a legacy that reflects my deepest values. Amen.